What's up, man? It's your boy, Mr. Jim, man, the owner of How Can I Corporation, all right? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/HowCanICorp. If you follow us and you want to know why we be asking for donations and what we're raising money for and our whole purpose for doing what we do, then this video is for you. We are the How Can I Corporation, a non-profit organization based out of Georgia, and we're raising money for an esoteric mystery school to teach people about mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial health, which we call wellness, and to teach people about esoteric knowledge and to give them a comfortable space to be able to be around people with like minds without being judged and not being ridiculed for thinking outside the box and figuring out this whole thing about what we call life. If you've seen this flyer, this is us. This is our flyer. This is the flyer that we're pushing and we're promoting to bring awareness to this. So if you see this flyer, share it, like it, comment. You know, we're trying to bring as much awareness to this as we can, you know. And if you're tapping in with the page on a day-to-day basis, we greatly appreciate you. You see what I'm saying? We got a lot more powerful content that's coming to the page. We're going to keep releasing powerful content for the free. We letting everybody be on, you know, wellness that want to be on it. Now, this is the building that we're looking at right now. We're looking at this building in Ackworth, Georgia, which is about 5-10 minutes away from Kennesaw, Georgia, on 5333 Bells Ferry Road. So this is what we're raising money for. This is what we're asking for donations for. So I'm gonna show y'all a quick rundown of what the building landscape look like and the numbers on the building. All right, so here go a rundown on what the building looks like, what we're going for. We want to be able to have an event space. We want to be able to have a place where spiritual items and books and accessories can be sold. We want to have a place where people can get organic food, healthy food, you know, spiritual soul food and stuff like that. This is what it looks like. All right, so the building is 3,700 square feet, and they're asking for $12.50 square feet. So we're gonna do the numbers real quick. 700 times $46,250. Our GoFundMe is up. We're raising $100,000 to be able to get the building, to be able to get furniture, to be able to design the building, utilities, you know, so on and so forth. So we greatly appreciate everybody that donates, everybody that supports, everybody that likes, shares, comments on our videos, share this video. You know what I mean? We greatly appreciate it. So this is what we're doing. This is the reason why we're doing it. We want to be able to share the content on the internet, but also be able to bring this into the physical reality. We also want to be able to put people under a roof to where we can be together, one-on-one, talk, you know, shake hands, kiss babies, get to know each other. You see what I'm saying? To be able to actually make change and build a community of people that think outside the box, that are thinking for the future, that are thinking for the next generation. You see what I'm saying? And trying to put these pieces to the puzzle together on this thing that we call life. To find the GoFundMe link, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/HowCanICorp, or you can put it in your search bar like that, HCI, How Can I Corporation, and you'll find the GoFundMe link on our page. We greatly appreciate everybody that donates and everybody that supports this mission, man. Regardless whether you do or whether you don't, the mission is get to a higher level of consciousness. The mission is to ascend. The mission is to make sure that we have wellness, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial health, spread it throughout our communities so that we can shift this level of dimensions that we've been on, so that we can shift our mind and shift our brain, shift our soul, shift our spirit to a higher point so that we can be more with source. That's period, point blank what it is.
After you gain access to the sacred mind and activate the pineal and pituitary glands once more, the way is open to reestablish telepathic communication with your higher self, your celestial guides and teachers, and eventually the ascended masters and the angelic realms. As you move higher upon the path of ascension, it is important that you develop the skills to become a conscious channel or telepath. In order to do so, you must go through the process of clearing, cleansing, and raising your consciousness so that you can connect with higher level entities, and not those in the lower astral planes. In other words, you must lift your consciousness to the level required to meet your guides, and after you've established a solid connection, they will assist you to attain higher and higher levels of consciousness. You must learn to quiet the conscious mind and shift it aside as you still your own thoughts in order to be receptive to the guidance information from the more refined sound frequencies of higher intelligence. Your intention should be to receive the most valid information and the purest truth possible for the greatest good of all concerned. You must strengthen and learn to listen to your own inner divine sense. Your body is a sounding board. It is a tuning fork on a certain wavelength which makes up your energetic signature. If your life is filled with chaos and painful events, raising your consciousness will lift and harmonize the frequency wave patterns of your energetic signature, and your life experience will also become more balanced, satisfying, and enjoyable. In order to become a spiritually inspired messenger of cosmic wisdom, you must balance the emotional and mental bodies, unify the right and left hemisphere of the brain, release and transmute as much as possible of the limiting negative thought patterns within the subconscious and conscious minds. Using the Becoming an Alpha Master techniques will speed up the process. Practice being an observer. Envision your guardian angel perched on your shoulder and make it a habit to check in once in a while to see if you are on track, or if there is something out of line with your actions or thoughts. You will be amazed at how quickly your conscious soul monitor will grow in strength and will give you insight as to the appropriate thoughts and actions. Your guardian angel, guides, and teachers will always work through and with your soul self, and your soul self will work in unison with your sacred heart or mind. You must be sincere in your desire to tap into the extrasensory abilities. You must be determined to go forward and do whatever is required to develop your higher sensory abilities. Intention and effort are prime requisites if you wish to get the attention of any of the ascended masters, angelic guides, or master teachers. You must strive to attain a true sense of value and seek to maintain a state of harmlessness. You must endeavor to radiate no discordant vibrational patterns, and be diligent in using the violet flame to transmute any and all imbalanced frequencies every day. You must become reacquainted with your soul self, and begin the process of establishing the highest truth and values you will live by in your newly refined and expanded state of consciousness. You must become a strong and diligent warrior of light.
Understand that the battle is going on right now. You see what I'm saying? Understand that the battle between good and evil is going on right now. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that is alive, anybody that is on this earth, anybody that is walking around is a creation of the Most High. Why would the Most High not want the best for his children? You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, the only way to beat what people call quote unquote Satan, which is a reflection of you living through your lower self, is to conquer your lower self. You see what I'm saying? That's why everybody tells you to turn within. You got to conquer your inner demons. You got to conquer the things that hides in the shadow. You see what I'm saying? That is the only way to beat the negative energy that is being spilled into the world that is manifesting as what people call Satan. You see what I'm saying? So you that is watching this video and everybody that's walking around is a soldier in the war. Is fighting. You see what I'm saying? And the only way to win and to get back into one with the Most High is to conquer ourselves and start walking with the Most High the way we were supposed to in the beginning before this whole thing was split. You see what I'm saying? You.
What do you need me to look up now?
15 USC.
15 USC.
1605.
1605.
It's going to bring you to truth in lending to the finance charge.
Determination of finance
Yeah.
charge. You want me to start from A?
Yeah, we're going to finance
So
charge.
finance charge is, except as otherwise provided in this section, the amount of the finance charge in connection with any consumer credit transaction.
Which is what I went there for.
Right.
I didn't go there for a retail installment contract.
Right.
I went there for a consumer credit transaction.
Right. So any consumer credit transaction shall be determined as the sum of all charges payable directly or indirectly by the person to whom the credit is extended and imposed.
Wait, say it again.
Payable directly or indirectly by the person to whom the credit is extended.
Okay.
Right? And imposed directly or indirectly by the creditor as an incident to the extension of credit.
Okay.
You want to keep going?
Keep going.
The finance charge does not include charges of a type payable in a comparable cash transaction.
So down payments are illegal. If it's a consumer credit transaction, there is no cash involved. They asked me for a down payment. I said my finance charge says that there's no cash transaction. There is no down payment. So ask me about a down payment.
We can go to there and using this same law.
I just did it.
Examples of charges which are included in the finance charge include any of the following types of charges which are applicable. Okay, this is about to get interesting. Interest, time price differential, and any amount payable under a point, discount, or other system or additional charges.
So no, when they talk about dealer fee, documents fee, and all that, my finance charge take care of all of that. I'm not the one paying it. That's included in my finance charge. So when I got the retail installment contract and I was leaving, I noticed they didn't ask me about insurance. They asked me if I had insurance. My finance charge includes insurance. Look,
It's crazy.
it's gonna say premium. Keep reading.
2. service or carrying charge. 3, loans fee, finder's fee, or similar charge. 4, fee for an investigation or credit report. 5, premium or other charge for any guarantee or insurance protecting the creditors against the obligor's default or other credit loss.
All right, so let's get into it. The power of the mind, the power of the subconscious mind, the power of the superconscious mind. All right, so today, when you get hungry, I want you to really realize that it is you making the decision of what you eat. You see what I'm saying? God didn't make the decision. The devil didn't make the decision. You decided whether you wanted Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, McDonald's, to go to the grocery store, to get food, to cook at home, etc., etc. You decided that. You see what I'm saying? And when you can really understand that concept, then you will understand that it is you who is making the decisions for your life. It is you who's creating your reality. You see what I'm saying? You decide which gas station you're going to go to. You decide who you're going to text back, etc., etc. The choices that you make is creating the reality that you live in. It is you who is manifesting it. You see what I'm saying? This is what I want some people to know. Think about life like this and what you can see. And then think about life when you back out. You see what I'm saying? What can you see? Your cloud and your peripheral, right? Hey.
But the CT scan has one more surprise for Alejandro. Shamai's ethnicity.
Well, they have just told me that Shamai had a Nubian feature, which means that their ruling family was probably Nubian, and that was unexpected.
Examining Shamai's anatomy closely, the thickness of his bones and the shape of his nasal cavity, the anthropologists think he was a black African, likely from neighboring Nubia. A huge revelation that challenges the prevailing image of the Egyptian ruling class.
We always thought the ancient Egyptian elite were Mediterranean type, and in this sense, Shammai is representing the society of the frontier, in which different ethnic groups were mixed. At the end, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. Shammai was Egyptian.
This thing that we're doing is deeper than rap. You gotta pause for a second. You gotta be still. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be able to detach to relearn, you know what I mean? Unlearn to relearn. You see what I'm saying? This thing is so much deeper than what people are playing it for on a day-to-day. You see what I'm saying? On an everyday life. This thing is so much deeper. Like, it's so much deeper that it don't make no sense. It's past scripture. It's past all of that, because it's so deep that you got to go within and figure out what they were trying to figure out in the scripture. You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody on this planet is supposed to be chasing divinity. You see what I'm saying? To be able to be the best version of yourself, to reach the highest version of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Consciously, you know what I mean? Your spirit, your soul, mental, physical, spiritual, you know what I mean? The whole nine. You see what I'm saying? But with me saying that, people got to know that there is an opposite. There is a polar. It's like a magnet. It's a yin to a yang, a light and a dark. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why things ain't going the way it's supposed to be going is because there's someone, something, an entity, whatever you want to call it, stopping people from walking in their authority, walking in their light, being their divine selves. You see what I'm saying? Being who they're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be able to shine so bright that even anybody that's pushing darkness towards you, you can outshine that, to be able to get where we got to go. Because it's to the point that we got to think about the future generations. You see what I'm saying? We got to think about the moments that are in history and the things that are going on right now, and how this is going to affect the future generations. You see what I'm saying? We got to really think about where we trying to go with it, as far as a species, as far as a being outside of the human body, who we are within on an energetic level, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. You see what I'm saying? Getting there consciously. We got to think about being the leaders and being the example that's going to be set for the future generations. Excuse me. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's so much deeper than people are playing it to be. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about even the religions. You see what I'm saying? This thing is not called a spiritual warfare for no reason. This thing is not called spirits of Christ and the spirit of, you know what I mean, whoever, Shiva, Buddha, you know what I mean, Muhammad. It's not called spirits for no reason. And just like there's good spirits, there's bad spirits. Just like there's positive energy and negative energy. So that means that if you feel like you're not finding your light, you're not shining your light, you got to see where the darkness is coming from. You see what I'm saying? Because the darkness has been doing what it's been doing for far too long. So it's time for the light to shine. You see what I'm saying? We don't even exist if the sun don't come up. You see what I'm saying? We don't even have life if we don't get light from the sun. So think about our bodies. You see what I'm saying? Think about us on a different realm. You see what I'm saying? We need light. We need knowledge. We need wisdom. We need wellness. We need these things. You see what I'm saying? And this is what's gonna shift the world to where it's really supposed to be, and unveil the lies and unveil the smoke and unveil the secrets, is if we start really turning within and turning the light on within us. And the only way we could do that is do what we call shadow work. You got to turn within and see the darkness so you can know which room to go cut the light on. You see what I'm saying? And then as you cut them lights on, you see what I'm saying, in the crib, you'll be able to see everything in the crib. Then you can clean the crib, and the crib can look exactly the way you want it to be. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, you got to understand that this thing is so much deeper than just us being human beings and our species. This thing is universally serious. This thing is galaxy serious. You see what I'm saying? We not just regular beings out here. There's things that we supposed to be doing. It's time for us to cut these lights on and clean up the grid. You see what I'm saying? This is deeper than rap. You know what I mean? And we can't send the next generation into this thing that we call life. You see what I'm saying? Equipped the way they equip. And the only way they're gonna get better, and the only way they're gonna do better, is if they led with a good example. And that's coming from us. So it's time for us to buckle down. This thing is about spiritual shit. This is about energy. This is about shifting your consciousness, raising, ascending yourself, becoming the God being, the goddess being, becoming the highest level of yourself, because you realize that it's deeper than you. This is about your species and so on and so forth. You go down your spiritual journey. This is what this is about. You're not supposed to be stuck at the same level. That's why the system ain't working, because it ain't supposed to work. It ain't supposed to work. That's why the system don't work, because it ain't supposed to. We supposed to ascend past it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I said this thing deeper than rap, because there are consequences if we don't. So people got to get on it, man. All of us. We got to be 10 toes down with, all right, we about to get to the next level, man. You see what I'm saying? We about to upgrade ourselves. We about to reform ourselves as a whole so we can get to the next level. You know what I mean? There's power in collective consciousness. That's what they know. That's why they program and have people watch certain channels and certain outlets and certain, come on, man. That's why it's like that, because they know that it's power in collective consciousness. If you can have a group of people or a group of anything thinking one thing and truly believing in it, then that will be planted in their subconscious, so which will manifest into their physical conscious reality. You see what I'm saying? So they playing with your mind, but you gotta know who you are. You gotta ask whoever you believe in, who are you, and be quiet enough that you can listen and hear the answer. You see what I'm saying? Because it's that time, man. It's where they dip it around. What's up, man?
We trace the Moors. We even got the Moors origin as being some form of Egyptian priest. And I'm gonna try to explain this to you. The ancient scientists or the ancient masters understood that they could take a religion like Islam that the masses get, and they can use it as a banner, just like you have different religions or different philosophies inside of the Democratic Party. You got different philosophies inside of the Republican Party. They understood that they could take a religion, and the religion would be more of a banner or an organization that they can go into and use as a political tool to go into certain countries because they know they're going to be dealing with people on a certain menial level. So they needed to organize under a banner. So these priests could go in. They could take Islam, because they understood there was also a mystical part of that, and they could go in with those same teachings out of Kemet, and the Moors was basically ancient priests from around the ancient world that went in under the political banner of Islam and went up into Europe to teach the Europeans. You know what's interesting? So we say they were the Egyptian priests, and they could do this. They'd learn how they could take things and they could house whatever the system they wanted under the banner of a religion. Give you an example. Well, white man does it to us. He's a murderer, and he can come to you as a Christian, and you're the only one thinking it's a universal brotherhood. You know what is interesting? When they got a lot of the stuff out of the mystery system, guess where they went to translate a lot of it before they took it into Europe? Baghdad. That was one of the places where they translated a lot of stuff from Metanetta and Coptic, Greek, Latin. All of those things were ancient black languages, and they translated a lot of that stuff of the ancient world coming from the Library of Alexandria and all that stuff in Baghdad before they took it to Europe. That was one of the centers of the Moors. So the Moors can use the Islam as a political thing. The Quran was not, because we find all this stuff that the Moors brought up into Europe. And most of it is religious aspects of Kemet, Hebrew, and different aspects and stuff, and those principles. So they're much more advanced than a modern person that you would later on call an Arab today that would be under religion.
On today's episode of All Facts, No Cap, I'm going to let the Bible tell you that it starts in your mind. I'm going to let the Bible tell you that it is you who's controlling your reality. All right, let's do it. All right, boom. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Set your minds on things that are above and not the things that are on earth. The end of all things is at hand, therefore be self-controlled and sober-minded. To the pure, all things are pure, but to the defiled and unbelieving, nothing is pure, but their minds and their consciousness are defiled. For those who understood the mind of the Lord so as to instruct him, but we have the mind of Christ. But his delight is the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates. Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures. I mean, come on now. Therefore, preparing your mind for action. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. On today's episode of All Facts, No Cap, auto insurance is a scam. I'm going to let the queen explain it better.
The vehicle is already supposed to be paid for. It's already paid for. So if the finance charge is the sum of all charges, that means that your insurance premium is a part of the finance charge, and that's supposed to already be paid for as well. Any additional imposition of a charge is supposed to be rolled into the finance charge. I mean, I didn't make this up. It says premium or other charge for any guarantee or insurance. Protecting the creditor. What does auto insurance do? Yes, it protects you, but the thing of the matter is also it protects the creditor, because what's going to happen if you can't get your car fixed? Most people is going to stop making the car payment. They won't keep making the car payment on a vehicle that's a total loss, that they don't have anymore, that they can't drive anymore. Right? It says, or other credit loss. That's a credit loss. That is a credit loss.
See, really understand the power of your brain. Understand the power of your subconscious, your conscious, your mind. You see what I'm saying? It's you creating your reality. You know what I mean? People love to blame the devil on stuff. You know what I mean? Give God the praise. I get it. I understand. But understand that it's you manifesting things into your life by what you think and what you do. You see what I'm saying? God is within you. Your higher self, that's your God being, your goddess being. Your lower self, that's your devil, that's your Satan being. You see what I'm saying? It's all within you. You see what I'm saying? You want heaven on earth, you got to change yourself. You can look at dating. You see what I'm saying? Girls and guys that complain about meeting the same dudes and the same girls, but go to the same spots to meet their significant other. You tired of meeting the same people? Switch it up. Change your reality. You see what I'm saying? Manifest what you want. You tired of meeting the type of dudes that be in the club and go to a museum? You tired of meeting the shorties that be, you know what I mean, outside bent over all day? Then switch it up. Go to a nice restaurant or a nice venue. You get the point. You see what I'm saying? Go outside the box, step outside the box to change your reality. The kingdom is within. This is the power of your mind. If you think it, you can have it. You see what I'm saying? If you overweight, think, go to the gym. You see what I'm saying? If you too small, you want to get strong, think, let me exercise. You see what I'm saying? It starts within.
This is what they never taught us in school.
On 7+ instead of acid 6.9. Then I begin to check the pH of all the herbs. I begin to test it. I test comfrey, acid. I test garlic, acid. I also tested aloe vera, St. John wort, rose hips, comfrey. All of these things are very acid. Carrot juice is extremely acid, yet the healers in New York then and now are still recommending these acid foods. So I said, well, let me investigate further to see which are the alkali herbs. And I begin to see that burdock, yellow dock, also the elderberry, these are alkali plants. Also the Virginia snake root, that's alkali. One has to know the
And the difference in and the power of the mind and the brain. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's take a car for an analogy. You see what I'm saying? Your brain is the radio station. You see what I'm saying? You can go through, you can put every frequency, any frequency you want on a specific channel. So when you press that button, it automatically goes to your favorite radio station. You see what I'm saying? You can listen to your music. Your mind, you see what I'm saying, is more so the car. You see what I'm saying? Even though the radio is a function of the car can do so much more things. It can drive, it can go forward, it can go backwards. You see what I'm saying? You can travel in it, etc., etc. So this is the point. What I'm getting at is that people got to understand the life you living and what you're going through is because of what you programming into your brain. It's what you program into your brain through your conscious, your subconscious, when you sleeping, when you living. The only reason why you think the way you think and you do the things you do is because it was programmed into your brain to think like that. You see what I'm saying? If you wake up every day and you watch stuff that's nothing about, but it's only about being sad, it's only about violence and getting you down, you programming your brain to think those thoughts subconsciously and consciously. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying that to say, in prosperity, abundance, and you know what I mean, divine masculinity, divine femininity, you know what I mean, if that's what you're searching for, if that's what you're looking for, abundance and prosperity and everything, then you gotta program your brain. You see what I'm saying? Put the frequency into the station so that you can get there. You see what I'm saying? I don't think people really understand what I'm really getting at. Like, let's take the car radio and the frequencies that you could go to and the radio tower that's giving off the frequencies. Let's say the tower is the source, the tower is God. You see what I'm saying? The further you get away from the tower, the more staticky the frequency gonna come. You listening to 107.9, you in Atlanta, the furthest north you go, the further north you go, you know what I mean, you going towards Tennessee, you going towards all that, 107.9 gonna slowly get staticky. You're not gonna be able to listen to it because you're getting further away from source. You see what I'm saying? You're getting further away from God. So I'm saying that to say the frequencies that we're giving off on our body, you see what I'm saying? The frequencies that we emitting, when we're not aligned and we don't have our chakras in line and our energies ain't right, we're getting further and further away from source. It don't matter how much we got the radio tuned to that frequency, we're not going to be able to hear the message. We're not going to be able to get the signal to go through because we're getting further and further away from source. You see what I'm saying? We have to always make sure that we close to source. And the reason I'm saying this is that this is what causes people's life to change. Is when you reprogram yourself. When you reprogram your brain for it to do the things that you want, your brain is a magnet. You see what I'm saying? Your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, your word is a magnet. What you putting out into the world is what you're going to attract to yourself. So reprogram your subconscious and you'll have the life you want. Reprogram your brain and you'll have the life you want. And the thing get even deeper with the mind. You see what I'm saying? Because you yourself can get out of that car. So that means you're outside your mind. You see what I'm saying? Think about this stuff, man. Yes, sir.
Region, alongside weaving and pottery making. Additionally, this ancient Kurdish culture was the first to develop a script, standing as one of humanity's earliest literate societies. Some have asked how human beings could have made this jump so fast. Interestingly, the Kurdish people claim to be the descendants of the children of the jinn, the children of spirits. Is this an ancient cultural reference to the procreation between Anunnaki and human women? According to the Sumerians, it was the Anunnaki who brought advanced knowledge and technology to human beings, lending a helping hand, as it were, to the progression of human civilization. Many have suggested that this explains seemingly impossible monuments like the pyramids of Giza or Teotihuacan, those ancient monuments of extraordinary sophistication, which is completely unexplained by the cultural and social circumstances of historical record. Perhaps this also explains how human beings were able to transition from nomadic hunter-gatherers to sophisticated civilizations in a historically insignificant amount of time. Incredibly, the Book of Enoch describes an almost identical process taking place, with the Watchers mirroring the Anunnaki in providing humans with advanced knowledge and technology. They teach humans metallurgy and mining, science and medicine, how to read and write, and how to read the stars. They teach humans to wear cosmetics and make jewelry, and reveal the secrets of the art of war. The Book of Enoch 8:1-3a reads, "And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways." Was the Book of Enoch in this way merely reflecting and retelling the story of the Anunnaki? It is interesting that the most common example given of something completely unexplained by the cultural and social circumstances of historical record, that is to say, something the Anunnaki must surely have helped ancient humans with, are the Egyptian pyramids. According to the ancient Arabian historian Al-Marizi, these pyramids were built by a king named Sarid, who lived before the Great Flood. Incidentally, Sarid, translated into Hebrew, is Enoch. Consider elsewhere in the Book of Enoch, in a chapter in which Enoch bears witness to the secrets of the lightnings and the secrets of the thunder. Somehow,
Africa, there always needs to be a foundational basis for why and how you do things. So it needs to be grounded, right? The problem is that we are so tapped into our root chakra that we are continuously discharging our energy rather than anchoring through our root and then allowing all of that energy to come up to our crown chakra.
Facts.
Right? So instead of having like this direct connection with the subconscious, superconscious, and through our conscious being, we have this subconscious, conscious, and superconscious connection. All we have is this discharging of energy. And this is what ejaculation is. It's just a consistent discharging of energy where we're not able to tap into our God state, right?
That's a fact.
Because God is procreation and regeneration, is not recreation, right? This recreational nonsense that we've been tapped into through recreational activity is allowing us to recreate white capitalism, right? And rather than create or procreate our nation, our highest vibration, we are just consistently trying to give ourselves prostate cancer. And I had
Yes. I had a question about meditation. I've been meditating for a long time, and I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it or moving forward with it. You know, even in a real quiet situation, and, you know, I'm just trying to get something out of it. You know what I mean? Trying to elevate past the beginning stage.
I would love to answer that question, brother. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna give you a perspective, okay? You have an answer yourself, but I'm gonna give you a perspective to add to what's been going on so that you can see your way out of it. As you meditate, you gotta know what it is meditation actually is. It's the change from one state to another. So you're traveling when you meditate. When you meditate, you're supposed to be able to focus. If you can't focus, meaning there has to be a clear mind state and you have to not be talking. The meditation takes place on the inside of you with the real you, because the body that you're driving is not you. You ain't nothing but the ether that goes in and out of that body continuously. So you can leave that body, see? If you recognize that you're that ether, then you have to understand when you meditate, you have to visualize too if you want to travel. These visualizations take you into a point in what they call time. Time doesn't exist. The now is the only thing that's real. So when you go into a meditation, you'll travel on what I like to call the eons, which are the ions in the air. You are as small as a light photon particle driving that body. You're not as big as your body. When you're out of the body, no one can see you unless they have a particular lens to see you, and that's called clairvoyance, that lens. Right? So when you're meditating, you're wanting to travel. That traveling allows you to get guidance to come back in this state, the third dimension, wake up from the meditation state, right? And then you're able to go research, which is search, or go on a quest, because you wake up with questions. As soon as you come out of the meditation state, you should be going, man, I got questions. Those questions lead to answers as well, which is why you're here today asking the question, why am I not changing? You are. You're being led to find answers. That's part of the change. People have to learn to respect the process too. Not all plants grow at the same speed. If I pull you up at the roots too fast, I could kill you. So I have to let you or coast you through slowly. And then Shil will coast you through slowly because they know that's what you need. Mm-hmm. They're not going to just full blast you with a bunch of information, tear your head off, and have you out here in the streets trying to tell everybody this information. And you know they're not going to accept it anyway. They just call you crazy, put you in a straitjacket, and have you in a padded room and within 24 hours. They're looking for people like us to step out there sounding crazy. So you have to be able to use a science, and there's a science here that we teach on that subject where we can communicate this knowledge to people without arguing with them. And you can open their brains up, their crown chakra up. This is the age of Aquarius. Meditation happens all day. You don't have to be sitting there in Indian style or the full lotus position with your back up against the wall in a cramped up, non-feel-good position to meditate. Meditation takes place in deep thought, thinking with the inner eye at any time of the day. You can be eyes wide open, looking right across the room at somebody staring off into space. Nothing, as they call it. And they'll be going, hey, snapping their fingers in front of your face till you start what? Blinking. Blinking is the signal that your vehicle does when you're trying to alert other vehicles. Okay? Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I dug deep into what meditation is for first before I broke into you do meditate at different times of the day. You don't have to be sitting in a dark state to meditate. Close your eyes and there's the darkness. So as soon as you close your eyes, you can meditate. You can open your eyes and focus and stare. As long as you stare and star and stir are the same word. They've been jumbled around by other magicians that know how to write language. Magic is always in the symbolism and how the symbolism controls the mind, because the mind controls everything else. And I hope that answers your question, big brother.
Brother Kennard, you can go ahead. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Ad lib on what my brother just said. What he was saying too, to break it down. So when you go to sleep at night, you meditate. And meditating is actually the art of listening versus sending a message. They call it prayer, right? We don't say prayer because pray is the thing that beasts do in the field. We send messages when you go to sleep. They call it dream, but it's no such thing as really dream. That world is just as real as this world. They call it daydreaming. They got different types of dreams. It's actually reality. Doing meditation, it's a listening phase. I just wanted to add that and let the other brother go.
If you made it this far in the video, yo, you the GOAT, man. All right. And I don't want to wish nothing but peace, blessings, abundance, love, and prosperity onto your life, man. May all positive vibes be sent to you, your family, and your loved ones. And since you made it this far into the video, I'm going to leave you with this jewel to go down the rabbit hole. All right. What is a promissory note?